Welcome to Beyond Six Figures, the podcast that helps business coaches to micro-niche, get noticed, and become fully booked. Learn from top industry leaders who've successfully taken their businesses and their lives beyond six figures. Get ready to level up your coaching business and make this world a better place, one business at a time. And now, here's your host, Ziv Raviv.
Hello, and welcome to Beyond Six Figures. Our guest today is Michael Wager, founder of Teach Your Business to Fish and the creator of the Whiteboards Whiskey series. After a 26-year career in oil and gas environmental consulting, working with major clients like Exxon, Shell, and Chevron, Michael shifted into business coaching, bringing a unique combination of leadership, development, and strategic growth. In 2014, he launched Teach Your Business to Fish, blending his passion for fishing with John Maxwell's leadership principles to help small business owners scale and succeed. His Whiteboard Whiskey events, born as a creative solution during the pandemic, have grown into a franchise that actually could be very interesting to some of you business coaches that are listening here and now. His franchise is spanning Texas, Florida, and Australia. And these gatherings combine strategy sessions, collaborations, and community building in a relaxed environment, helping entrepreneurs clarify their vision, refine their messaging, and create actionable growth plans. Hello, Michael Wager. How are you? Thank you for being here.
I'm great, Ziv. How are you today?
Great. It's quite a transition, I have to say, from working with huge companies as a consultant and deciding that you're going to help even small business owners with business coaching. Can you tell me a little bit about what was the adventure that brought you into this realm?
Yeah, I worked for some of the major oil and gas companies throughout the United States, building really big pipeline projects throughout the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. And it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I made a lot of money. I traveled the country. I got to see a lot of things. But it got to the point that I got kind of sick of making a lot of money for already rich and very, very successful companies. And I said, okay, what can I do? A partner and I, we created a company. We ended up selling it in 2000, and that brought me to Texas. And I was just looking for a way to kind of exit the big corporate America. I was just kind of sick of it a little bit, and I wanted something new. Started looking at some opportunities and found someone found me and they brought me into their coaching fold, and kind of the rest is history.
So since then, you've been coaching people through their day-to-day businesses, and you've seen the markets evolve, the online marketing develop into new stages, and businesses changes as well. Tell me a little bit about what type of businesses you've been serving with great success.
Yeah, I've been very industry agnostic. I've coached everything from law firms to construction companies to restaurants. So it's very different. I look at it as business is business, and there's certain things that every business has to do no matter what. Sometimes they just think they're very, very unique and they're so much different. And it turns out they're not. It's really what the business is that makes it different, is exactly what it does. And that's what the owners are the experts in. They're the experts in law. They're the experts at turning wrenches. They're the experts at doing that, but they suck. I mean, suck at running the back end side of the business. And that's where they really need help. So that's really where I've focused on is helping the men and women that are doing that, let them be great at what they do, and then bring them back and say, all right, the parts you don't understand, let's get together, get a handle on it, and let's help you grow your companies.
And when you deal with the need to grow a company and the need to do the back end more efficiently, there's a few directions that you could go with that I know that you help with. I want to start with going deeper into this. There's the topic of saving time and being efficient and having processes. There's the topic of bringing in more leads more efficiently, which is something that is kind of implied with your direction of teaching businesses how to fish. So what is the golden thread that runs through your coaching when you work with a business or some of the problems that are more common that you solve?
Well, one of the things I think most business owners and unfortunately most coaches lead with, they think that leads are the biggest issue, and they're generally not. And we've got to go through, and one of the things that we start with is a triage of the business. We want to understand what the business owner understands about their business. What do they understand what's working? What do they feel is not working? Both from a lead magnet, from an operational aspect, to servicing our clients, to billing, to getting cash flow to come in, accounts receivable, accounts payable. We got to understand all that. It takes me to a client that I have, and they specialize in cleaning high-end Oriental rugs. And in our first meeting, they said they met with several coaches, and the coaches really wanted to work with them on that marketing aspect to really get them going. And I said, well, let's talk to your operations team first. And I went in and talked to the operations manager, and I said, hey, what if we're fairly efficient and we grow the number of rugs coming in here by 20%? And he just looked at me with the deer in the headlights look and said, we can't do that. We're not set up. We're at bottlenecks right now. And that's where I really specialize in, is helping businesses identify bottlenecks and get out of them. And it's not always marketing. And too many coaches lead with marketing, but it's sexy. And the business owner thinks it's sexy. Trust me, you come to a Whiteboards and Whiskey event, and trust me, we're going to talk about marketing.
What a wonderful transition then. Talk to me about the whiteboards. First of all, before we go into the discussion of presenting it as a franchise opportunity, tell me a little bit more about how did that came to be and the story about the pandemic.
Sure. It was in the pandemic. We're coming out, and of course, everybody was understanding, how do I get more customers? How do I get more customers? Me, probably like a lot of other people, was getting my LinkedIn and everything just bombarded with everybody that was going to 10X my business, and they're going to make things better. And we had talked to a couple companies about helping us get a little bit more consistent in attracting higher end clients. But we could get that $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 business in, but we wanted to get the $3 to $5 to $7 to $10 million business in, because our fees are anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000 a year. And we wanted people that could afford us. And as we went through the system, I got really mad with this company. I paid, I think it was $11,000 to help us. They did nothing. They were frauds. They were doing that. Let's sell it and then make it up as we go. And we realized after we got into it, they knew nothing about what they were doing. And it was just complete and utter BS, just to put it, is what they were giving us every week. And just at the end, I'm like, look, I really would sue these guys, but they were out of New Zealand and we couldn't find out exactly where to sue them. And one of the guys that was in one of my groups said, Mike, you just like whiskey and you like drawing on your whiteboard. Just do that. And it came out from that. And all of a sudden it's like, I sat down and went through and thought about it. And the idea didn't even come from one of the guys we paid to help us. It was just another member that was ticked off as well as I was in the mastermind group. And we took it and started looking at it. We started looking at what struggles do coaches and consultants have. And it is bringing in qualified clients and closing them. And I'm a guy that likes to do what's fun. I built everything about what I like to do. I built Teach Your Business to Fish around fishing. I love fishing. I've got a master's degree in trout biology. I understand it, and I just bring the two together. Whiteboards and Whiskey came with, hey, I really like drinking whiskey. I like teaching. How do I bring them together? And what we saw is I was working for a company, another coaching company, and their main thing was lunch and learns. And coming out of the pandemic, everybody's been stuck in their house. They've been bored and nobody wanted to go to a lunch and learn. And even before the pandemic, nobody liked lunch and learns. I couldn't get the owner of a $10 million company to go to a lunch and learn, but I can get that owner to come to a whiskey tasting and whiteboarding session. And so now we started looking at what does our prospects really want. It kind of grew from there. In 2022, I met my partner, Chris Beard. I was speaking at an event in Mexico. He was up there from Australia. We really connected. He's developed something called the Accountable Boardroom. That is a big part of our coaching platform. We've gone then and we've added in something called Tab Focus, which is a software system. But it just grew out of, I wanted to help coaches and consultants get real business and not play this, let's spend $20,000 a month on paid ads and watch it just go away, or paying some quote unquote guru who's never built anything say he's going to 10x my business. And it's funny. And that's where we've been having the success.
So describe to me, like, what would a whiteboard event look like? How long is it? How does that work?
Sure. Whiteboards event's a little over 2 hours. It starts with a little bit of a networking session. So the networking session comes in. Everybody you tell everybody to be in the room at 6 o'clock and they show up between 6 and 6:30. Nobody's ever on time. So we give them 6 to 6:30. They come in. We may give them a cocktail. We have some hors d'oeuvres available. Then we do a whiskey tasting, depending on where we're at, where our sponsors are. And then we go into I don't want to say it's really our pitch, but we have a few slides. I really focus on building world-class companies. And that's what I try to teach our franchisees to do is stay on that thing, is building a world-class company. And we focus on the Rockefeller habits. We introduce the attendees to the Rockefeller habits. We only focus on 6 key performance metrics. So we go through what these 6 KPIs are. And then we go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves and say, okay, out of the 6 KPIs we've mentioned, which one are you struggling with right now? And I'm going to tell you, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and 99.8% of the time they believe it's pipeline. So it's sales and marketing. So we do a whiteboard session. I got my whiteboard back over there. We break it out and we start talking about what are they doing now? Why are they doing it? Where are they struggling? And start just giving them ideas on what to do. Then we wrap it up with what we call it's the triangle of a business. It's understanding A, where are you now? B, 90% of the businesses I talk to have absolutely no plan written down on where they're trying to go. So he didn't plan. Then we tell them they need a way to keep score. How do I know if I'm winning or I'm losing, if I'm moving? And last is, who holds you accountable to moving it? And then we give them a pitch to get a 20-minute call with us, and we walk them through this and then move them to our sales process. But they do pay a ticket to come. They pay anywhere between $50 and $100 to come to a Whiteboards and Whiskey event. We're not giving it to them for free.
Do you have any idea about the conversion rates of these events?
Yeah, our conversion rate, what we shoot for is 12%. It sounds really simple, but if we can do a 12% conversion rate, which is 1 out of 8, into our program, our accountable boardroom, we have 6 people in it. So we have 6 businesses of very similar size. They don't have to be in very similar industries, but similar size, because they're all going through the same growing pains and issues. And so they work together. And so our pitch to our potential franchisees is, if you were to do a Whiteboards and Whiskey event once a month for 24 months, and you were to close one a month, at the end of the time, you've got 24 clients. Our average client stays with us 3 years. So we're not flipping clients every 6 weeks. These people stay with us because we grow their business and we become a valuable asset. And they're paying us between $1,500 and $5,000 a month. I don't have to go hunting all the time.
How many business coaches are operating out of your actual brand?
Right now, there's 4 of us. We've opened up Kansas City in the last couple of weeks. So we're actually doing our second event up in Kansas City in 2 weeks. We're talking to somebody in Dallas right now, and we're talking to somebody in Boston. So we're there. The franchise operation's only been available for about a year now, and nobody wants to be first. And so we finally had to get our first people in there. They're seeing it go. We're actually, some people that I did business with in 2015, 2016 have recently reached out to me because I've really increased my video social media platforms, and people are seeing what I'm talking about and they're hearing it. And so right now we're in discussions with a group to bring Whiteboards and Whiskey to Aberdeen, Scotland, and actually London. We're looking to go global. That's our goal. And we like to have 100 people with us within the next 2 years.
Phenomenal. What does it take when someone wants to consider working with you through this, does this forces them to also change the way they coach? Or so is there a methodology around that? Or do you support them beyond the actual creation of the event?
We offer kind of a tiered franchise model on what they want to use. If they've come in and they really don't have a coaching platform, we would like them to use the Accountable Boardroom because it's very well thought out. Chris has got it month by month by month. It's ready to go. We can go in and just hit it around. But like the new guy that we just brought in Kansas City, he has a coaching model. And so he's going to kind of blend his with ours, and we're just going to work with him to do it. The guy we're talking to in Dallas, he's all doing one-on-one coaching right now, but he wants to move to a one-to-many program. So he likes what we have, so he's looking to bring that in. What people seem to like about us is when they look at Whiteboards and Whiskey from the 50,000-foot view, it just seems like it's this one event, but it's really not. So we've got the one event. We have got the sales path put together. We have got the coaching path with the Accountable Boardroom. We have got the software with the Tab Focus. And then the one thing that we have is we've also created our own networking platform. One of the things that I really don't like is the 3-letter marketing groups. You know, the ones where you got to go in there and you got to give your 60-second elevator pitch and everybody's supposed to be selling for you, but go ask a $10 million business guy if they want to go there. And they don't. And I created 3 years ago, just right coming out of the pandemic, something called the Whiskey and Wisdom Collective, is where we hold a cigar and old fashioned event twice a month here in Houston. We hold a couple other mastermind groups. But what we do is we sell those people who are not ready to buy into coaching yet to come and stay in our tribe, so to speak. So now they pay $1,000 a year to come in, and they get invited to all these events, and they get to meet our lawyers, and they get to meet our CPAs and our fractional CFOs. They get to be a part of our team. And then they realize that a lot of those people are my clients already. And these people are they continue to sell them. Like, why aren't you hiring Mike yet? Why aren't you hiring Mike yet? But through that, we've done 7 million in referrals in 3 years to people that not all of them are clients. We'd still go refer them business and help them grow. And so we just built this little universe where we just try to keep them in it.
Tell me more about this Tab Focus. What is it and how can people learn about it?
Sure. Tab Focus is a software. We teamed with another company out of California. We took their white label and then added a lot of our own thing to it. So what Tab Focus does is it helps companies look at the 6 KPIs that they need to be focusing on. And what it does is once we start loading in information about the business and what the ownership wants out of the business, AI helps us create a 3-year game plan based on key performance indicators. And so with the key performance indicators, we'll be able to go in there and we'll add tasks and to-dos that need to be done to execute those key performance indicators. And the software will let us know between 0 and 100% how close are we to actually completing that KPI. Because a lot of people believe KPIs are something that they just keep doing forever. We believe you set in KPIs to solve a problem. There's this problem. I need to go from A to B. What needs to be done? Let's make it happen. And who is in charge of focusing on it to get it done? And we're able to go ahead and keep the leadership team and management team, which are 2 different teams, management and leadership, on target to get these things done. And so it's very easy. We just put them into a rhythm. They use the software. Me as the coach from the outside, I can go in and see it. But if we get stuck, we understand where we're stuck. We understand if it's something internal, if it's something external that's forcing us. But then the AI that we have generated inside of it will help us solve the problems by asking it questions that are relevant to solving that key performance indicator. And our AI, her name is Ada, and Ada will give us answers on what things we should think about doing to solve the problem.
And how can people get a look into this solution?
Yeah, if they want to come up with this, shoot an email to me. We'll get on, we'll show them a demo. And there's two ways they can use it. They can purchase it from us and use it for their clients. Or if they want to eventually become a member of our team, that's included in coming with us. But it's not a very hard system to work, but it's very, very, very efficient. And everything that we do inside of TapFocus is based on valuation. So everything we're trying to do is increase the value of the company. Because one of the things we teach our business owners that we work with is always be working to put your business in the best possible position for sale, because you never know when you're going to have to exit, or you never know when someone's going to come around and say, hey, I want to buy you. So let's be ready and let's make it as valuable as possible, as quickly as possible, and then continually work on increasing the value of that company.
It sounds like in your business, in your journey these days, you got to a point where you have a system to generate your own leads, Whiteboard and Whiskey. So, and because people stay long enough with you, you got to a point where you're too busy to scale by yourself. So you created this franchisee model where you help other people already in 4 locations to leverage this system. So I'm guessing that you're not using any advertising.
We do use a little bit. We use a little bit for looking for coaches that don't want to come into us. We use a little bit of advertising there. And my ad spend to fill a Whiteboards and Whiskey event is about $250 a month. I keep it running, my ads, at about $2 a day until about 14 days out. And then I increase it to 10, and then 5 days later to 15, and then to 25. I've only got to sell 10 tickets. I don't have to sell 100. So it makes it easy. And the only tweaks we consistently make on it, Ziv, is we do A/B split testing on it, because every once in a while, the algorithm starts showing it to people that run great businesses, but they can't afford us. And it's not that I don't want to help them. We actually are. My lawyer and I, we're looking at making maybe a accountable boardroom group that's smaller, that we're going to do. It's going to cost less, but we're going to take a percentage of the company. We're going to take an ownership stake in it. So if I'm going to lower my fees, I want to go with your success. And as it goes up and you make more money, you're going to pay me a percentage of revenue, not profits, because we know how people hide profits, but we're going to go and take a percentage of revenue as it grows.
So that's like the next step in the evolution of your business. What are you struggling with, Michael Rager?
We're struggling right now. It's just, we're getting the first couple new franchisees in, and we're starting to get their results, and they're positive. And so now it's just, we're the new kid on the block. We're competing against the Action Coach or the Brian Tracy model and this stuff that's been around for a long time. How do we compete? And so that's all it is right now, is we're getting a couple people that we're talking to, is finding those people that are saying, hey, look, I've been trying this on my own. I want to go into a model where I have support. I want to go in and get that. And that's our struggle right now, is finding those people, because the buy-in to the Whiteboards and Whiskey franchise ranges between $15,000 and $50,000. And then there's a monthly royalty that starts after 90 days. We want to get you up and going first, but we've got that there. It's in place. We're just running with it and going. And so we just need a couple success stories, and Kansas City is starting to be a real success story. I'm already a success story. My guy and my partner, Chris, in Australia is a success story, but they want to see how we've grown other people. And that's where it is right now.
What's it like to have a partner in a totally different time zone like that?
It's hard because we get along so well that I wish we were together more often, because when we talk, it's either like 1 a.m. here and noon there, or it's 5 a.m. with him. So time is a little bit of a challenge, but the struggle is we don't get to sit down for long periods of time together and hash things out. We try to do that once a quarter, where we'll do a 2 to 3 hour Zoom meeting, and we'll both have our whiteboards. But we know what we're both strong at. Chris is very, very strong on the details, the coaching process. And I'm the guy that's going out and the face of the company somewhat, talking about Whiteboards and Whiskey and bringing it out and pushing it. So I'm like more the visionary. He's the implementer, going into one of our competitors' words, so to speak, and using it out there. So it's we work very well together on this. The challenge is we just don't have enough time to sit down together and make it happen as fast as we want.
Well, where can people go to learn more about you and everything that you do?
Yeah, they can go. We got several websites. If you want to learn more about Whiteboards and Whiskey, it's explore.whiteboards, the letter N, and then whiskey.com. It tells you a little bit about the opportunity, what's up. You can set up a call with Chris and I. You've got whiteboardsandwhiskey.com. You'll be able to find out more about where the opportunities are rolling, what's going on. michaelrager.com and teachyourbusinesstofish.com. And I'm all over LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram, so you can follow me there. We got a brand new YouTube channel called Build It World Class that we only started. My 14-year-old son helped me set it up the other day. And he said, come on, Dad, let's make it happen. And I was surprised. Only shooting 4 videos, I've already got 1,000 views, which is really I didn't expect that. But, it was just kind of out of the bat. And so we're there. We're in a lot of places. People can find us. We'd love to be able to help.
Awesome. And we'll put all of the links in the show notes on our website. I want to thank you, Michael Rager, for taking the time to introduce us to your work. I think it's phenomenal that you're going that way. And I will stay in touch after this. Thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode.
That sounds awesome. Thank you. Look forward to helping you as well and seeing how I can push you out and get some people to help you grow your business as well, Zil.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for listening to another episode of Beyond Six Figures.
Thanks for listening to Beyond Six Figures. Check out the extended show notes that include bonus material, practical tips, and exclusive resources on our website, zivraviv.com. Until next time, keep dreaming big and pushing your business and your life beyond 6 figures.